YouTube Zodiacs, what's going on? Is your favorite Gemini, KashDaGemini, back with another unboxing. We did one last week with Thanos on Throne with JP Mavinga. That was very cool. Had the Broke Boys Club there with me. Today we're also back with another unboxing. I really love Spider-Man, so it's very cool. Got Carnage. Definitely got to track down the Martine's Venom, so that'll be like the next one to try to get in. But just to say hello to everybody, Buck Fangs, how you doing today, man?
What's up, man? Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. What about yourself, Tone? How you doing?
Good, and thank you so much for having me on. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem, man, no problem. What about yourself, Keesus? How you doing, man?
Hey, I'm pretty good, man. Just chilling. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. And just like last week, we tried to get the sculptor back on, so we got Daniel Bel this time. How's it going, man?
Hey guys, thank you so much for the invitation. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, no doubt, man. You know, it's crazy being in Statue Con. You know, the whole Lazy D thing, man. Where that?
Lazy D is a funny story, man. Do you know the story? What is it about? No?
I don't know the story.
You don't. You say you don't, right?
I don't. Yeah.
The story is kind of a while ago. I think I was doing I can't remember which statue. I think it was Daredevil or something like that. Like it was my second statue for Sideshow, and Sideshow posted all the images, and I was posting all my renders of ZBrush, and one guy started saying that's Daniel Bel's laziest work or something like that. I don't know if it was Daredevil or which other piece it was, and I said, why is you saying that? You know, at that time, it was really hurting when someone like started saying bad things about my work, about me, because I'm super passionate about what I do, and I was very respectful with my colleagues and my teammates and all the people, sculptors or artists, anyone. Actually, with the opinions of the rest, but I really want to know why he was calling me lazy, because I think I could be. I don't know, many things, but I don't think lazy. You know, I put a lot of time and effort behind every single statue. And he was saying, no, you're kind of lazy because all those details you put right there, you could spend a little bit more time. And I say, well, I don't know. Well, maybe, okay, that's fine. It's a interesting way to see it. And so when I say that, I think it was the guys from Constructive Outrage, COC was there, and someone was saying, I think it's Shane started saying, hey, you're lazy, lazy D, and then everyone started calling me lazy D, and I think I was really fun. I actually like it. And I said, yeah, there you go. Critical mass. Hey, what's up, man? So yeah, it was fun. It was really fun.
No, dude, it was definitely fun being at the Statue Con, getting to interact with yourself, Martine, Anthony.
Yeah.
Who else was there from Sideshow?
It was Jesse and Anthony, and Jesse and Martine.
Yeah, and all the other collectors, man. It was really cool, and
it was really cool.
I had a good time, man. I had a good time, and this was my favorite picture of the con right here. favorite picture, man.
It's very cool, man.
It was a blast for sure.
Man, yeah. I feel the same. I think we should do more stuff like this. Different part of the country. The United States is huge, so I would love to be visiting different places and connecting with collectors and knowing more about you, about your taste, about your opinion and feedback on the statues we do. And it's cool to me as an artist. Besides, I'm working for Sideshow as an artist and as a person. It's everything, because every single minute you put behind the statue, it is because I really want to make the statues being liked for people like you. That at the end of the day, you are just giving me work, but also feeling kind of the same. It's not exactly the same, but it's kind of the same passion, because I have the passion not for collecting, but for making the collections, and you for collecting the things we do. So yeah. it's cool. It's cool to have the place to connect.
Yeah, definitely, man. Yeah, it was really cool, man. Like I said, just if anybody knows Sam, he's definitely the life of the party. Sammy,
Oh yeah,
Crippler. So
Crippler.
definitely the life
Yeah.
of the party, man.
What does this mean? Do you guys turn into Daniel Bell when you fuse?
The Wonder Twins. Wonder Twins unite. I don't know what we're.
They're touching tips in front of his picture.
Those fingertips are misaligned. You guys know what happens when you don't touch the fingers right.
Hey, man, whatever.
What happened?
You get a
Something
full
crazy?
They turn into Buck instead.
Oh my god.
Oh, wow. Turning the buck.
Oh, Jesus, you gotta have the power. I haven't even dissed you this show. Oh,
Nah.
4 people.
Yo, so let me
Cash
ask
There you
you.
go.
Much power.
I'm sorry, Thesis. We gotta deal with Buck today. Buck has the power, man. What's your dynamic like with Martine? Because like this is the next piece that I'm waiting on. Oh, and by the way,
Nice.
real quick, let me show you.
Yeah.
These are
Sure.
freaking dope. I love how you
Thank,
got those, man. And this piece
thank you,
right
brother.
here, I cannot wait for this one to come out.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah, but like, what's your dynamic like with Martine? Because he's an excellent artist as well.
Well, with Martin, we connect all the time. We talk pretty often. Even if we are not working in the same statue, we just share the updates we have in the things we are working at the moment, and we share ideas. We have a lot of fun because I think we have very different styles, but at the same time, kind of the same taste for stuff, which could sound weird, but it's something that connects us. And for me, having his eye, his criteria on my statues, it was always helpful. And it's funny because when you put a lot of time and the years start passing, and I don't know, more statues coming, and you're making more and more and more. Sometimes you think, oh, maybe it's just I hit the ceiling on the things I can learn, and then I don't know, Martin just pointed you on something that you didn't see it before, and you say, there you go. So I have so many things to keep, to learn, to keep, seeing and studying and discovering. It's something really. I think our relationship as a friends is amazing, but as a team members, is even better because we can help each other. And in that piece, I had the challenge and the privilege to work with him. For me, Martin, he was my mentor at the beginning, but I'm still thinking like he's kind of I'm his Padawan, I'm still being his Padawan because he's always like getting more experience, and you can see his last statue was Constantine. I think I was talking about Constantine before Sideshow releases the piece, and to me it's one of my favorite pieces of the show of the Sideshow Con, but so far from him. I mean, I love the way he uses all the techniques and different styles, and it's very inspiring to me to have someone in the room more intelligent, smarter, and better than me. It's always the best. I don't know if you heard this before, but be always in a room with people better than you. That's the best you can do if you want to grow. So yeah, 100%, man. Martin is the best.
Yeah, no doubt.
So I got a quick question for Daniel, right?
Yeah, man.
So you being like established, working on your craft before you even joined Sideshow. My first question is, did you know Martin before Sideshow? And then my second question is, once you joined, what areas did he help you improve on with your own artistry and the way you look at the anatomy? Because you were already good before you joined Sideshow as far as anatomy. So when you ended up working with him, what areas did he help you improve on in your own sculpting wise?
Well, good question, man. I met Martin, I think a couple years before I get to Sideshow, I would say 3-4 years, something like that, maybe 3 years. I started my connection with the sculpting thing with a guy. It's called Diego Gonzalez, who is a sculptor. Is a traditional sculptor in Argentina. He was giving classes to people who love and enjoy sculpting superheroes or stuff like that. And I was doing something totally different from what I do right now, which is I was working at that time in advertising. I was using different softwares. My goals were different, but suddenly I just found out this. I found this profession thanks this guy through Diego. And then I remember one day Diego said, Daniel, would you like to just share some of what you do in my place for the people who they don't know about your craft? And I said, yeah, sure. I was doing a little bit of ZBrush at that time, but I wasn't really good. I was just kind of starting. And then he said, one friend of mine, he's going to come. So he works for an industry making toys and stuff like that. Oh, cool. And then Martin just showed up like a I don't know, just one more in the room, and everyone in the room was kind of crazy because they knew Martin, and I knew him through not his work, but through some people say, "Oh, Martin is a rock star," that time. And then I say, "Okay, who is this guy?" And then I started seeing some of his work, and I said, "Dude, this guy is a monster. Is crazy." And then I connect with Martin that day, and I said, Martin, if you need any hand with anything you need, just hit me. I'm here. I want to learn. And he was really nice. He was he never changed. He was the same good guy. I mean, if you talk with Martin right now, he's the same guy like 20, 30 years ago. And I was starting on this. I will not say that I was starting. I was just trying, let's say. And I think eventually Martin one day told me, "Hey, Danny, could you help me with some stuff I'm doing at Sideshow?" I said, "Dude, yeah, 100%. I was working like I don't know, 10, 11, 20 hours in my studio. I have a little studio, a small studio with one of my friends, my closest friends, doing giving 3D support to companies and other small studios or agencies." And I say, yeah, 100%. So I finished my long day of work, like, I don't know, like 8, 9 p.m. And then I started working with Martin till, I don't know, 3, 4 a.m. in the morning. I was like working really hard the whole day, sleeping not too much, unfortunately. But I was young. I was younger than now. I'm 40, so that was almost 10 years ago. So I was 30 at that time. Much more energy than now. And then one day Martin told me, "Hey, Danny, I love how you work, and I think you have something. And would you like to work eventually for Sideshow one day?" I said, "Dude, this is a dream. Hey, who don't want to work for Sideshow? It's like a dream." And I said, "Well, I can't promise anything, but I will just throw your name and present you, and then people." I don't know. And I say, all right, sure. Yeah, man. I was like freaking out. And my wife was kind of crazy because she knew that I was like Martin. He became like a superhero to me. And then nothing happens for more than a year and a half, 2 years, something like that. I kept talking with him, but I didn't receive any news from Sideshow. And then eventually I started working for other people. Then I got to XM. I did a couple of statues. And one day, someone called me from Sideshow to say, "Hey, Danny, would you like to work?" Because Martin one day just show your name and your stuff, and it was good, but we thought you were working exclusively for these companies. And I said, "No, man, are you sure?" I mean, you should ask next time, man. It's like that. And it was Jesus, but it is. I think it was for the best, because maybe at that time I wasn't good enough to those 2 years from that difference. I think it made a huge difference for me because I was I had more experience. I could get to Sideshow with a little bit more statues in under my name and my expertise, and then I started with one project. It was Captain America. Martin was really helping me, and answering your question about what Martin just let's say helped me to improve my craft is mainly is with his eyes, his vision, his criteria, is the way he thinks, the way he sees things, and sometimes are tiny things, but those tiny things make a huge impact in the final statue. I can tell you, for example, one thing. You have Bane right there, right? So on Bane, I remember I was working on Bane. I wanted to make a different version than Martin did at that time, so I suggested with the people at Sideshow at that time, like maybe we can take this direction. They like it, and then I was working on him. And then Martin one day said, "Hey, Danny, maybe if you just shrink down the waist and the butt just a little bit, you can make the the legs make bigger and the back looks even bigger, and we're not changing any part of the anatomy, and it was going to look even more like a superhero. I mean, he's a villain, but I mean more." Heroic or whatever. I said,
to his torso.
yeah, more shape because he was more like a normal human being, and I didn't know how to make it like look bigger without making it really bigger or the head smaller or whatever. And then I made that change and said, dude, I mean, it's just so simple. It's a simple change and make a huge impact in the entire statue. And then, I mean, I can name you a lot of things like that, but sometimes those things nobody can see it, and that makes a huge a difference, because I mean, yeah, nowadays people can make amazing textures and details and kind of weird things, but that is not the essence of the statue. That you're not telling any story with that, in my opinion, of course, right? I mean, the foundation of the statue, it is the structure itself. It's not the details, because it's like a house. You can have a beautiful house, a lot of beautiful colors or I don't know, details, you're stuck on the walls or whatever. But if your foundation is weak, it's going to go down, eventually. So its foundation to me is everything, and that's one of the things that I don't think people with a short experience can make a statue with a good foundation in where you can put all those tiny details. And Martin has that unique eye to see things that maybe sometimes you just miss it. So yeah, something like that.
Let me ask you this: what's your favorite Martin Canales sculpt?
Well, recently it is no, I mean, recently it is Constantine, but you will love. At least I saw it in person. And no, I'm like, I didn't see it in person, but I know how it looks, the entire statue. It is the Weapon X. I love Weapon X. But from the, let's say, I don't know, classics, I love the Venom. His Venom OG, in traditional sculpt. The one is like a crouch with the hand, something like that. Oh, yeah. The old Venom. That piece is beautiful. What else? Well, from the Court of the Dead, the Reaper, amazing piece. Yeah. I can't believe he did all that by hand. It's crazy, And what else? Cat, yeah.
Spider-Man? Have you seen the Iron Spider-Man or Black and Black suit?
No, I haven't seen that in no. Yeah, I saw it. Yeah, I saw it because at Sideshow they have all those statues, but the one I love, it is a classic Spider-Man. The one he's like leaping with one hand and in a structure is exploding behind. Yeah, that one is awesome. But the other one, it is a new Captain America, the one with the shield, like he's running. And that piece is beautiful.
Yeah,
great piece. I mean, probably one of the best Captain Americans ever. And I mean, he has so many amazing statues. I think he said he did around 100 statues for Sideshow, between collaborations and some things he tweaked. But I mean, dude, I think I only did. I've been working in more than 35 or something like that, but the one released around 24, 25, something like that. But Martin, he got 100, dude. That's a lot. That's a lot of experience right there.
Would you want to do another Black Panther? Is what the Vibranium Gem is asking.
Oh yeah, man, Black Panther is a great character. Yeah, 100%. I would love to make a new one, and a different one. The one I did for XM at that time, I like it. I think it's a cool piece, but I think your vision with the time and your experience gives you, I think, a better perspective of statues sometimes, or not better, a different perspective, let's say. And now, if I have to make, if I have the chance to make a new one, I will definitely do it in a different way. But yeah. 100%.
So, I think my two favorite statues from you are probably Silver Surfer. I love the Silver Surfer. I love it.
Thank you, brother.
But I gotta ask you, I'm gonna pull this picture up. So I gotta ask you. So on the Flash, if you could redo the Flash today, would there be anything different you would change about the anatomy or maybe the lunging? I think it's perfect, personally. Yeah,
man. Sometimes when it is weird how it works, because this is a piece that is an old piece to me right now, because I think it was kind of the fourth, fifth. I can't remember the number, but I mean, it was a couple of years ago. Yeah. And in theory, with the time, you get better, right? But sometimes I did in the past, when I'm working right now on something, I have all my pieces like in my background, like not everyone, not all of them, all of it. Well, it's a little bit blurry because of the camera, but I have a few and some more like here, and I have more in another room, and I have more coming. But I have it there, and sometimes I see them, and I say, dude, I think that detail looks better in that piece than the one I'm doing right now. So I'm taking stuff from the past and putting in the right now, and some stuff. Sometimes it's like, for example, all movies. Some old movies can't be replaced for new ones. Can't. Some movies will never be better. I mean, some new movies will never be better than the old ones. It's not because of nostalgia. It is because they were crafted to let's say, to make an impact in a certain way. And that pose, I put a lot of time, like studying people, I mean, runners and but many references. I'm not saying that I couldn't do it better, but if I have the chance to make another Flash, I will definitely make it a totally different pose, because you can't make the same pose and trying to make it better. You need to portray the character in a different way. So you bring, I will not say anything maybe new, because sometimes, I mean, how many statues, companies have been releasing through all these years? I don't know, probably thousands of statues. Most of the poses that you can imagine will be done. And so how you can reinvent yourself, or how you can reinvent the statue? Well, maybe put in another ingredients, or maybe doing stuff that they are not anymore in the market and people want to have it but they can't. So you can bring some of that essence, some of that vibe in the new statue. But if I had to change something in this one, I won't know. I don't know, honestly, but. It's if I have to keep the running pose, maybe changing the position of the arms, maybe doing something different, but maybe the base different. Maybe it was a simple base, but because it needs to, it was like that because of the the purpose of keeping the balance of the statue and not, tilting it to anywhere. But I don't know. It's a tough question, man. I know. What would you? I will ask the question to you. What things you will change in that statue, if I could do it again?
I don't.
Now you have the responsibility.
On the character, nothing. If there was anything I would probably do is maybe a little bit of ice from the Captain Cold gun. Maybe. But as far as the Flash, I think the Flash itself is perfect.
Yeah. It's funny.
I didn't notice it on the pictures. You don't see it until you get it in hand. Just like the Silver Surfer, you don't see it. Yeah. Well, you know what's funny? I think it. I shouldn't say it, but this piece is old, so I mean I'm not making any harm. But I think so. But yeah, we being at that time, I think we tried different options with some eyes and stuff like that, and I can't remember why we didn't just let it there. I can't remember honestly, but I remember having in my memory some of the things I did with eyes. Maybe didn't like it. Maybe we couldn't put it because of the license or I don't know. But now you mentioned, I try a couple options. I mean, every single statue you see, guys, there's so many exploration before, it looks like the ones you have. So many iterations, so many. Sometimes more, sometimes less. But this concept, from the concept, sometimes we don't have concept. We make the concept in 3D, right? But when we have a 3D concept and we have to take that concept and make it to the 3D world and then the statue, dude, so many things could happen in the middle that evolves with the statue, with the time, and with you, because you spend months working on that, and yeah.
Sorry, I was gonna say.
No.
Which way do you prefer to work, with a concept from a concept artist from the very beginning, or you generating a concept on your own and making the vision is mostly yours? You're just going back to someone for feedback and minor changes. So, what do you prefer?
I would say it depends. Sometimes I'm just I don't know. For example, working with having a conversation with Richard Long or Ian McDonald or Rachel, and I see something. They are showing me some stuff they're working on, and I see some really cool stuff, and I said, "Dude, is someone just book on that character? Or someone is sculpting it? No one. Oh, okay, just put my name on it and let's." Finger crossed. And sometimes I said, I have an idea. Let me try it because I don't know, we haven't seen this or I think this is something fresh or different or whatever. And let me try first. And there's no concept. There is no 3D concept first. So I think it depends. Some people will love to have an idea first, and then that will be kind of the igniter, let's say, and then other people, they don't like to have concepts. In my case, I would say again, it depends. Sometimes for example, if someone say, "Hey, Daniel, would you like to make a Wolverine?" I say, "Oh yeah, sure," but I don't have any ideas in my mind yet. I will have to explore. I will need to investigate what is right now. I don't know, people what they want, and maybe just reach out someone else and say, "Hey, I have an idea. Let me just draw it for you." And a drawing, they can draw super fast, and they kill it every single time. Even if it's a doodle, this way more than what I can do. Yeah, with my doodles, of course.
We got a black cat. They want a Daniel Bel black cat.
I just want a Sideshow black cat.
That would be nice. Yeah, man, that would be nice.
I think one of Daniel's underrated pieces, in my opinion, is the Batman Beyond.
Yeah.
I think that piece.
Thank you, brother.
I want that so bad.
Both the exclusive piece, head sculpt, is amazing. It captures the
Thank you, brother.
series in it too. I really like the anatomy of that one as well. Because he is a slender build, but it all goes together. I think a lot of people overlook that one, and a lot of people are trying to get in the aftermarket even now. So that's
Thank you,
brother. I'm one of them.
Oh man, thank you, thank you. Well, that piece is another example of when I started making the 3D concept. I did a totally different thing that the one you're seeing right now from the one you're seeing right now. It was more mech, more let's say, mechanical, not mechanical, but I mean with more tetchy stuff. And then we said, no, but if maybe people, I think they feel more connected with the animated series. So maybe we can portray more of the anatomy and some kind of light and scribes, around the body, and maybe that will look better rather than just having like a mech or more robotic character. And I think it was a good decision because I love it. I mean, I think it's a nice piece. It's dynamic, and the reds are really vibrating. It's like a pop-ups from the statue. Yeah.
His Batgirl is perfect as well. Yeah, I can't wait for this Batgirl. I know Tone is waiting for it too.
Oh yeah.
Got the Daniel Bel autograph, baby.
That's cool, man.
So I'm gonna go ahead and start cracking this bad boy out the box, man. You guys keep talking, and I'll get this done.
Also, I have another question.
Sure, man. Yeah.
So, how does it feel? I like giving flowers when flowers are due, and for you, Dang, I think it's like long overdue. I never really got to sit down and really talk to you and stuff like that. But how does it feel to have your artwork like sought after and wanted at a high regard by the community and collectors around? Like when you log on and you see it, what is that feeling like for you?
Man, it's hard to describe. It's hard to put into words because I've never thought that people will recognize my work through the things I do, and appreciate them. Because for an artist, there is not better payment than people giving like, let's say, recognition to the time you spend in every single piece. But I will say, I could say that is for any single artistic job. For a painter, a musician, I don't know, a sculptor or whatever, when people recognize their work and they appreciate and they let you know, it is the best thing in the world, because you feel like you made the right decision of becoming an artist. Because in my time, and even more in my country, I'm from Argentina. I said I am 40 years old, and that time when I wanted to become an artist, my mom and dad were really supportive with me. But I have other friends, they wanted to become an artist, and the relatives, their parents, they probably said, no man, you will start, you will just, you will not make any money, you will not, it's the worst job you can take, don't do that, whatever. And in my case, the people I care, the people who love and care of me, they supported me the whole way, even right now. And when people like you guys just invited me to be in a place like this or an event, and then just stop you and say, hey, Danny, I have your stuff, hello, keep doing what you do, or whatever, or even in the company, they just give you, hey, Danny, but your piece is selling really well or whatever. I mean, what else? What's the best thing you can think of your work or something happening in your work? I mean, it's the best feeling in the world. So I think it's, I will not say like, it will be a liar if I tell you, oh man, I'm motivated 100% of the time. I'm like every single day of the year. No, that's a lie. You can't be like that. You can't. It's unreal. But I would say like 90% of the time, I'm super motivated because I heard people like you guys saying, "Hey, Danny, just dude, keep doing what you do, man," because I love what you do. I don't know, my daughter or my son, whatever. I'm just, he loves what you do. He wants to become an artist like you, whatever. So it's not just what I do and the things you love and the things you like. It is the motivation you cause in others. So that's even better for me. There you go, Carnage.
Man, dude.
Yeah, brother.
The details of the symbiote on the base is really,
Yeah, man. Thank you, brother.
This is heck yeah. It's color coded too for the color coded all around, so that's pretty cool. You got the Easter egg there, the cell number. What's that? 361. That's
Yes, sir. Yeah, this piece to me is one of my, I would say the one I enjoyed the most, because I put a lot of work on anatomy, a lot. I think probably it is the piece I did the most deep work on anatomy, by far. Yeah, 100%. And I enjoyed a lot working on that such. Yeah, man.
How do you handle the criticism that comes along with your pieces from people who might not necessarily have a artist background?
Could you say it again, because I just lost you for a second?
How do you handle the criticism, that comes along with, your work, and and basically we know 90%, if not, aren't artists in their own right. So how do you go about handling that, and do you ever fix it or take their word into account?
Well, I will say that when people approach me, or I see comments on online, from people being disrespectful with my work, I immediately, I don't pay attention to that, because some people will tell you stuff about the work we do. Could be my work, could be other work, it doesn't matter. But in a way, they are not being respectful with the artist, or with the company, or I don't know, a community, whatever. And and that is, a few years ago, it was really hard to me, because I didn't know how to take it. Sometimes you can have 1,000 great comments, but then you will read one bad comment, and that will affect you. But if you let that happen to you, you're just, maybe not putting focus in the place you should, which is in the people who gives you the real feedback, the feedback who is going to help you to keep growing up as an artist, as a person, to the company, So right now it is, I think, I'm in a better position, because I can't, let's say, my mind can filter the constructive comments, and the destructive opinions. I will not pay attention to them, because you shouldn't. I don't think if they are telling you that's crap. I mean, why? I don't know why. I don't want to collect that crap. Okay, so how that comment can help me to keep to take something into account for the next statues, or for my next pieces. It doesn't help, Oh no, the color is not the color I want. Okay, so I'm sorry. It's not helping me. It's not helping anyone, actually. Yeah, man. It's yeah, dude. It's like what is it can do? So I would say, and I said this many times. I'm always super open to receive feedback, criticisms, opinions. If you do it in a respectful way, I will take it 100%. And when I see a pattern, let's say that 20 people is asking for the same thing. Okay, maybe so. Yeah, clearly I made a mistake. Because I can make mistakes. Of course, I'm a human. So yeah, I mean, even if I put all my effort and all my passion, I can make mistakes. And the only way I can become better is when people like you just say, hey, Danny, I think maybe next time, or why you take this decision, or just, have a conversation. When you have a conversation with someone and you can just receive the feedback, and you can answer, and you can just show your point of view. It is having an adult conversation, fun and adult conversation. That's so much better, man.
I want to give you some feedback because
Sure.
Winning that you just said people
Hey,
like
real
me.
quick, Buck. Dude, Jesus Christ, this is sculpted. This is sculpted amazingly. All right? This is so
That's so
amazing.
sweet.
This is amazing. Look at this. Look how big this is. This is
Watch
crazy.
out, it's a real weapon.
Oh, my bad.
You're good, you're good.
Yeah, back. You were telling me?
Yeah,
You were saying?
when you were explaining like about taking feedback, you said when people like you said that to Kesis. Kesis, just so you know, in the community, Kesis' opinion doesn't matter. we don't value it, so you should just be careful in the future. Don't
Holy
try
crap.
not to take feedback from Kesis. Like it's good, like he's just saying some nice stuff, but he's the master of the hate, so be careful.
No. I don't believe that, man.
You know what's crazy? I was basically one of the only people on YouTube when the Silver Surfer came out with the review. I was the only one of the first ones to say, no, this Silver Surfer is actually really good.
Thank you,
Everyone
man.
should buy it. And I got killed for it when I posted that video. 'Cause I was like,
No, you were
he's
right.
standing with
You
grocery
were right.
bags and blah blah
Oh,
blah. And I'm
man.
like, this Silver Surfer is great. Like, what are you? This is what I want in a Silver Surfer. So, Buck says that, but I'm I'm ahead of the pack when it comes to eyeing out greatness.
Kesis does not have a YouTube channel. Everything he just said was a lie.
Okay,
I know.
that looks good.
Yeah, man. I think.
It does.
I wanted to ask you something about like in terms of your statues, right? There seems to be a greater focus on pretty much all your statues on the characters versus the base, right? The bases are kind of just there to accentuate the character and like place emphasis on them. And there's few exceptions. I want to say like just two statues and maybe your whole roster where like it feels like you really put some time into like fleshing out the base in a way. That's not to say the bases aren't like good in the other pieces, but they're more like in subjugation to the figure itself. There's a lot of emphasis on the figure. But a statue like Iron Fist, that gate, I love that, man. That's I prefer the gate to the actual character. Like the crest on the base, and then like the dragon medallion on the gate, the way the gate is sculpted, and then you have a statue like the Thor Breaker Brimstone and Surtur's head. Like, and I see that kind of stuff. I'm just like, it's so crazy. I want to see, more of that in like your work. When you put that amount of, do you ever feel like you want to flesh out the bases more, and maybe like, because there's different needs for different like projects, and like sometimes the project calls for you to the statue just can't be too big, because when you start thinking about things like material costs and like the demands of like maybe the company wants to hit a certain price target, so you need to be smart about like what you do. So like in general, do you actually prefer to do things like that with a more like elaborate base, or is that just something that happens when it happens?
I would say is you have to think in this way. Let's put it in this way. If you do every single time, let's say a BC base for every single statue, then people will start saying, dude, I need a simple base for the next statue, right? Because it happened to me in the past. And if you do characters every single time, like jumping like crazy and doing something like hyper dynamic, and crazy, people will say, yeah, I love that, but Daniel's doing all this. Every single time is the same thing, it's something jumping, something doing this or that, or whatever. And I think you can apply that to the base or to the character, to the pose or whatever. I think from my perspective, it is sometimes these decisions are not coming from me because I'm part of a team. Sometimes if these decisions are not coming from me and I feel like we have to go with with a bigger base or more elaborate base, they will hear me, and we will just say, okay, if you feel like this is the time, let's just do it. But it will have an impact in the price point, of course, because it is like that. More mass, more volume, more stuff to paint, and sometimes I think and I feel we don't need a bigger base. We need more emphasis in the character, rather than the base itself. Because at the end of the day, the base should be a companion for the statue. I mean, it never. Of course, this is just my opinion, but the base will never keep the attention first, and then the statue. And some bases and some statues they work the opposite. It is then first you see the base and then the statue, so it's not really working. I think it's like a painting. When you see a painting, if you're the artist is going to use the rule of third rule of the spiral rule, whatever kind of rule invented.
Focal point.
To get you to the places he wants you to go first. It's not saying it's going to work 100% with every people, but it is there. And in the statues, it's kind of the same thing, but it's more complicated because you have a piece that you're going to see in a 360 degrees, and even if you place it like a looking to the front, someone is going, you are going to come from the side or to the other side, and you want to see that. Maybe if you put it in the middle of some space, you want to see the back first or whatever. But I will say, for example, if you make, I have a Hulk Gladiator in my back right here. If you make the base smaller, he could look even bigger, because he's having more presence. If he's like a standing and you make a huge base, it's going to be freaking expensive, So you need to start playing with the volumes, and it depends on the pose. It will depends on if it's crouch, his stand up, what character is. If you did it in the past, because if you did it in the past, why you're going to repeat it exactly the same recipe again, So I would say it is more like you can't there's no recipe for success, in my opinion. I think someone asked me, hey Daniel, please repeat again the success you had with Butker. And I said, I can't do it. I will every single time I work to make a success, something successful. But it is, just think in the people and the directors of movies who are getting millions of dollars to make a movie. Do you think they want to just make something that is not, making money? No, every single time they want to make something good, and it is the same case here, But you can't, and even if you play, sometimes you said, I will make, for example, Butker really worked. I worked amazingly. Okay, let's do something kind of similar. And then people will say, it's a different character, but it's kind of the same recipe. So it's not working for me anymore. It's kind of the same thing. Okay, what happened if you just put, let's say make another Butker with a simpler base? It's going to work, maybe for some people, because they already have a BC base, a big BC base. So it's really tough, man. What you just asked, it is something that I'm dealing. I think every single company deals with that, and playing with those things, the base and the characters, how we can make it. There is no. I love the statues from every single company. I don't have any preference. I know as part of the section, if I can't, let's say, put my just put me out from Sideshow for a bit, I will say, yeah, I can see why Sideshow is considered one of the best. Yeah, because we have quality control. I see pieces all the time. I have in my hand pieces and I can see the difference. but sometimes it's not enough, and sometimes even if we put a lot of emphasis on making amazing pieces, some people will love another stuff because they just getting tired of this. Yeah.
And
So yeah, go on.
to your point about not everything can be a success, well, I want you to know that if I was a gambling man, I'd always put my money on you to win.
Yeah, thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it, man. I appreciate it.
Do you so one thing that is a main staple for your work, you're very focused on organics. Organic stuff. Like everyone calls Daniel Bel for anatomy. For the longest time, people just didn't see you as at least they wouldn't have thrown your name in the bag if it came to sculpting a female. And I want to say that's probably just because they just never saw any of that kind of work from you. And so we got a taste of it with Nova, with the Silver Surfer. And now people like the reception of the back row you did is very positive. Extremely so, right? And now I'm seeing like even in the chat today, some people are saying they want to see you do more female sculpts. So that's like a testament to like your ability.
You will.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
You will see more female.
Awesome.
Yeah, a lot more. Yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, it is. I really appreciate all the comments in the chat and the appreciation for the female statue I did. Just by the way, I didn't sculpt Nova on that piece. Nova was sculpted by I believe it was Dan Ulrich. It's another artist, a Greek artist. I didn't sculpt that one, so it doesn't count. Not on my list.
I'm very sorry to Dan.
No, it's okay, man. It's okay. But no, my first one was definitely Butker, and but I planning to do more. Not only because it was a successful piece. It is because I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed doing it, and it was a huge challenge. And as an artist, sometimes when you are in that place named comfort zone, which I think I was for many years, putting myself in I will not say in a risky position because I will never was going to risk anything at the company. I mean, I knew since the very beginning that I could be not doing it better than William or Steve Lowe or any other amazing artists in the company. But when I take a challenge and I say trust on me, is because I know that I will be at least something like that place, and then people could just say, oh yeah, you hit it and you didn't hit it, or you didn't. But taking the challenge of making, I mean, it is a challenge for me because I'm not a female sculptor. I was more a male sculptor. And, but now I think I opened the door for making more and more, and people, I don't know, they will just judge me with the next pieces that you're going to see, the next female pieces you're going to see from me, because you're going to see plenty of them, for sure.
I hope the next time you get the chance to push an idea, like I'll know from where I'm sitting in Washington when Daniel Bel says,
no more Spider-Man characters.
Hey, I'm gonna get my Spider-Man character.
We need more X-Men.
No matter what. The next part of that question I was asking about females was in terms of hard surface, right? And doing more mechanical stuff, like actual maybe robotic things. I see someone like do you know Marco Plouffe?
Oh yeah, Marcus is awesome.
Amazing, and that's his domain. When it comes to hard surface, he's insane.
Yeah, 100%.
Would you see yourself being able to take on that kind of challenge for a statue?
I'm a 3D modeler, and then I'm a sculptor. I became my career as a 3D artist doing 3D modeling. So I did a lot of weapons. I did cars. I love cars, and I used to model cars, 3D model cars, for quite long. And I did some robots, some stuff for advertising, and at that time, which it feels another life because it was time ago. And if I didn't do it, is because I not enjoy it as much as other people. And probably nowadays, if I don't do it, is because there are people in the company who can do it way better than me. And it will be irresponsible for me if I say, let me do now. I need a robot because people want to make me do that robot. I need to be 100% sure that I can make a robot I will never. I don't think I can make a robot like Mark Palouf, for example. A robot, not a robot. I mean, I'm a mechanic stuff like Marco, because he has a unique style. But I can do it different, in a different way. Which is not going to be better or worse. It was going to be different. But I don't think I get there yet. Like feeling something inside of me saying, "Oh, Danny," like I did with what's funny? I would do something that maybe it will sound crazy, but it is. I'm a father. I'm a father of two. I have two daughters, and I remember when I was with my wife, like a few years ago, saying, don't you think don't you feel like it's time to look for a baby or something like that? Because man, you feel it. We felt it at that time. This is something similar. If you don't feel it, if you don't feel it, don't go. I'm not feeling it, but it doesn't mean that I couldn't do it, or if someone asks me, "Hey, Daniel, your next project is going to be this robot," I would say, okay. If you think is the time, I can accept the challenge. But if it's on me, I'm not there, not yet. Yeah. And by the way, there are not many. I mean, I love Iron Man, of course. I love Iron Man. And how many other cool a robot characters you can name?
You can always find something you can
100%. Yeah, but I mean, just give me a one or two names or someone. Yeah.
The new
Ultron.
that's actually one.
Yeah, that was cool. Yeah, Ultron's cool. Does it has a fan base, Ultron? I mean, or did you think it's something? Because that's another point. When you work in a company, you have to think. You need to think as products. I mean, if you want to, you just can't go and say, "Oh, we'll love to make this character." Why? Because I love it. But do you think it's going to sell? I don't know if it's going to sell. Well, it should sell because we are a company, and if it's not selling, it's something like you're just wasting money. You know what I mean? And you can take risks sometimes, maybe once a year, twice a year in some products you feel. But if you take risk every single time and these products are not hitting some goals, you're not going to get any more things you love to do. Yeah. So you need to be very smart in your decisions when you work in a company. Yeah,
I get what you mean. It's I'll say this about Sideshow. I enjoy sometimes the criticism comes out doing the same thing but I always feel the need to point out that every now and then you get something slipped in there that we didn't get before. Recently got the Beast, but before that it was Nightcrawler. We hadn't seen that in detail. We got what's the name of that character? We got Juggernaut from Sideshow, and
I did Colossus.
Colossus happened.
Yeah.
Did I say Nightcrawler already?
Yeah,
Nightcrawler. Look at the DC side. We got Jon Stewart.
That's still such an awesome piece.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
Hawk Girl.
Yeah.
And I think
Great piece.
also in general, it's harder with these kind of characters. The smaller characters, the characters, it's definitely harder to sell them. If you bring out a new Venom, yeah, of course. Or if you bring out the new X-Men character on the team, it's easier, I want to say, to sell people on that idea than it is to do, even if the statue is done well, like a more
Mhm.
obscure character or a more obscure villain.
Yeah.
The statue felt like Penguin was a risk, and that went well,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Every
Yeah.
now and then,
But
one
we
of-
didn't know. You know what's funny? We didn't. I mean, Maria Pamfilova. She was a sculptor. She's amazing.
It's amazing.
And we said, yeah. I mean, I think we have like a will be a success, but we didn't know. No one can tell you before that piece. You could say, "Oh, this piece looks awesome." I mean, why people is not going to like it? But sometimes, even thinking as an entire company that people will love it, people sometimes they don't like that some stuff, and it is so hard to see that coming. I mean, sometimes you can, but sometimes you can't. Even if you put all the effort, like I don't know, bringing amazing art, amazing sculptors, amazing painters, or whatever, and I think we're making a lot of unique characters that we haven't done in the past, and that you're going to see in the near future, and taking more risks than ever before. I mean, I'm going to get I'm going to be, I can't remember if 8 or 9 years at the company, and this the last 3-4 years, I think we're making statues that I never think that we weren't to make it. Some of these pieces you didn't see yet, of course, but when you see it, you say, I didn't expect that Sideshow comes with this piece or whatever. So yeah, man, it is choosing statues is a hard thing to do when you have so many great companies and when you have 30 years in your back making statues, for so long.
Yeah.
Yeah, Carnage, baby.
That looks awesome.
There you go.
Great.
This one's also on my hit list.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. Cash, can you zoom out a bit? Let's see something. It almost looks like he's got 4 tendrils coming out of his back, so it's like more like a spider because he has 8 limbs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah.
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 Yeah. People hate me when. What's that?
Who did the design, the concept?
It was Richard Long, and then at that time, Matt Mullen was the art director, and I just put my sauce, and yes, I exactly.
Sure. Look at me. Sure. I'm the captain now.
I think someone in the comments asked, how long did it take you to complete this sculpt?
I honestly can't remember, but yeah, I usually take. It took me. I would say it took me 3-4 months, maybe more, because it was. Or maybe less, because at that time I was so focused on the anatomy. I was so passionate to make this. I did the I make the how's the name? Écorché. You know what écorché is?
Mm-hmm.
Écorché.
Your anatomy.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, écorché is like having is the anatomy without the flesh. It's just the muscles, and I did that for this character. And then I started playing with breaking all the striations and putting one to each other, but just a hand sculpt in digital, of course. But I mean, without using any alpha or any tricks or whatever. It was just putting just time and that's a crochet exactly. And actually, could you go to ArtStation and search my name, ArtStation Daniel Bel, because I have a few pictures Or I can show you if you want. No. Can I share screen? I think it would be easier.
Yeah.
Okay, just give me.
Hey, this freaking Carnage is amazing. That's all I gotta say. Holy cow!
Thank you, bro.
Lots of detail. The paint is perfect. How they painted the tendrils is crazy. It's really, really good, man. I can't say enough, man. How do you say the last name? Sapene? Cat Sapene?
Katsepane.
Amazing.
Oh, Sepane. Yeah, Sepane. Yeah, she's awesome. He's William's wife. Will Hallwater's wife. I don't know if you knew that.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah.
that's really cool.
Yeah.
Great combination.
I mean, that's why this new line, Paul Dixon's line from Will, she's painting all of these female sculpts. She's awesome. She's amazing. So I have a few renders here, and I also have like something like that, like this. I did the first pass, which is something like this right here, which is no eye crochet, and then I started playing with the eye crochet, like making all the striations. Exactly, all the striations, the muscle fibers, the structure of a male, let's say, but into these kind of creature proportions, because he has longer legs and kind of you're going to see, for example, the feet scapula is kind of hyper protruded to that side, let's say, to the back, but I think this made me gave me the chance to start playing with right here, like I used the flow of the muscles, and then let's say I break all these striations of the fibers and put it on top of each other. It was tough, but at the same time it was super fun, and trying to find the way to make these kind of look scary, not scary, but kind of gross, and it was super fun, man.
It's awesome to see, though. This is like the beginning stages of it, where it's nothing like that on the statue.
Yeah,
it's so cool to see.
Yeah, man. I remember that I asked Sideshow to allow me to show some of the initial progress, because we can't share because it's not representing the final product, and you could have some issues maybe with licensing, but then I got green light on showing this, because I think I said we need to show this, because sometimes people, they don't know all the work behind, all the work underneath, in this case, and it was so cool to be able to show you this, guys, and
so awesome, man.
Yeah, and actually some stuff like these tiny details are not going to get printed. So maybe nowadays you can get printed, but then when you go to the molding pass, you're going to lose some of these tiny details, but it is, I think it's nice to be able to show you that it was there, maybe in a future with a better technology, maybe in a few years from now, you could see it.
I like the approach you went with Carnage, because generally I'd say I wouldn't see that on other Carnage statues, because the way you went, like with you just did the muscle fibers first, and then you went over that with a unique overlaying pattern that still looks organic, and then you put the symbiote on top of that. I generally do not see that approach when it comes to doing Carnage.
Thank you, man.
Been a few sculpts, a bunch of sculpts, and then the paint team at Sideshow killed it. They just did it to the next level.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I mean, you could do this thing maybe without making this thing, but I was really having fun on making this thing, and then the other path. I think I need it. Maybe some people will not need it, and maybe they will end up with the same result. But every single every single artist works. Our mind works differently, and I knew at the beginning when I was working on this. I had to say, I know, guys, you can see this as a waste of time, but believe me, that is, I have the strategy why I'm doing this. They just trust me
later on.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, you have more. I think I had more control making it in this way rather than just going too crazy and trying to figure out how was the anatomy underneath.
Do you sculpt? Did you sculpt this in pose, or you had it?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Damn.
No, yeah, 100%. Yeah, you
obviously
you can.
How detailed the anatomy is, you gotta do it each part individually.
You can.
Muscles are stretched and the side is contracted.
Yeah, you can have, let's say, a pose or T-pose with something like this or like this, like a video games or the film industry. Then you will have to rig it and then skin it, and then the animator will make it move. But in this case, I mean, you can have if your character has armor, let's say, make it in a pose, symmetrically. But when you have something that's so organic like this, it is a waste of time, I would say, to try, because it's going to break. If you make it all of this and then you pose it, it's going to break it, and you will waste so much time trying to fix it. So, and at the same time, it's different when you have to. I mean, we are asymmetrical as human beings. We don't have the same fibers the amount of muscle volumes, yes, we have, but the fibers are different. So I think when you have the chance to make it different, it will take more time, of course, almost twice, but it's going to look better, more natural. That's it.
But that's why I like what you're doing here, because a lot of people wouldn't bother to put in the asymmetry. They would they do everything symmetrical, and then they pose it. And when it's broken, it's the idea that maybe it doesn't occur to them, or they think collectors will notice it, so it doesn't matter. So you just put the body the way it's gonna be, pose it, and then you can throw some texture on top of it, hides any mistakes or whatever.
But you know what you're saying is interesting, because I could make like that, and you will not notice, but I can show you this, and you will see more value, and in the work we did, because I did it like this way. Not every single mind will work the same, but to me as an artist, that I love what I do, and I love the artistry in the stuff we make, is so important. It is like I would say, like when I was younger, and I rent a DVD and a movie, and then I end the movie and I go directly to the extras to see the making of, because I wanted to know how it was done, And when you see how it was done, I think the entire movie has much more value to you than if you don't see it, how these people came with these ideas and make it happen, and all the process behind that simple scene. Maybe how much time did it take for them? Well, this is kind of the same thing for me. It is, if I can show you how much time I put on this, maybe you will appreciate it more. Maybe not. Maybe it's not working like that for every single one, but to me, I think it's valuable to show you this, and so you can see all the work behind.
Appreciate
no
it, man.
It looks good.
Thanks for sharing.
Pleasure, brother.
Last question from the chat for you, Mr. Bell. Are you concerned at all about AI taking jobs?
It's a great question. It's something I will be honest with you. at first, when the AI just starting hitting the first artists, I had some friends, some 2D artists, 2 concept artists. They were telling me, "Hey, Danny, do you have any job at Sideshow? Do you know any companies? Because I'm getting so less job than before. Much, I don't have the same opportunities because the editor I was working with the book or whatever, he's like working with some people that is making with AI, whatever. And yeah, it was scary. It's still scary, because you don't know when it's going to hit you, when it's going to catch you, And these technologies are evolving so fast and so in a manner that it looks like you can have control on it. So at the beginning, I said I will never use it because it's something that is against the artist, whatever. And then there was a debate saying, "Hey, yeah, but you people take inspiration from. I mean, you're working taking the ideas from Marvel and DC and that and that." And said, "Yeah, I mean." Part of them they have right. I mean, I'm not creating anything new, making a Carnage or Wolverine or Batman. I'm taking the concepts and all the illustrations and many artists did in the past. For example, I recently made a Magneto based on James Lee style. So I'm kind of being kind of AI, just seeing his work, or I'm just getting inspiration from his work and making these 3D sculpt based on what people love, which I think is what I did, or we did. But when you talk about the AI, if you don't, I think we have 2 options. All the artists, we have 2 options. Or we fight against, we don't use it, or we find a way to see it as a tool and little by little try to implement it in our workflow without using that tool as a final result, because if you don't do that, you will be out. You will be out of the industry. You will be out of opportunities. And I prefer to don't the AI. It does. I mean, I will always prefer it. Oh man, I love to the AI doesn't exist, but it does exist. So what do you do with this technology right now? So I started trying to see how we can implement it. I'm not really using it because even the most advanced ones I've been trying, it's not giving you what you want. It's even something like maybe an inspiration for what you want, but sometimes it's still useful, and it's faster when you can have an idea and send that to a client or to a friend. Hey, or Richard, what do you think if you make something like this? And then the guy could say, the artist could say, I don't, yeah, maybe it's a good starting point, whatever. And then when you see like as a tool, you start losing the fear of that tool, But what is going to happen in the future with us, I don't know. But what I know, I'm seeing the AI as I saw it at the beginning with being so afraid of it. I think I will be lost in a couple of years from now because it's like I didn't invest time in trying to find a way of how we can implement that in my workflow. Yeah.
Let me add throw something on top of that, because in one sense, what you're saying has a lot of value. It has a lot of merit in that you either adapt or die, more or less. Kind of what you're saying.
100%. Yeah.
However, what if using it hastens the speed? Because these things learn from you, right? From how you do and the stuff you produce. Using that hastens you to your grave. So you're teaching it faster. It's like they were like maybe like a parasite. And like I'm not saying I'm not saying the way. And this is just me. It's not even my opinion. I'm throwing this out there, and it's like so. Using that AI, right? The more you use it, the more encompassing it becomes, the faster it learns. Like, it's like more people are teaching it at once. More people using it in more advanced ways, applying it, and then it keeps getting better. And it becomes so good to the point where like you're relevant now. There was a time when I was like, wow, these things are good, or like they were funny, they were goofy images. They couldn't really get faces. You make these demon faces, and then all of a sudden it's crazy what people are making with it. And then they came out with, yo, we could do AI videos. I'm like, what the hell is going on? And right now it's in the goofy phase too.
Mm-hmm.
And it's gonna get crazy. And I can see a lot of people being afraid of that, and also not wanting to work with like the tools, in that working with it will hasten you to your grave, or also feeling like there's a lack of, I mean, you've heard these arguments before. It's a lack of human touch in there, and that's part of what makes the art, like you know, in kind of sentimental way as to the value of art. And is there any value in something that you just, you type your sentences and it gives you like something that it spits out like in moments.
Yeah. No, I mean the human factor, the human touch I think is more than necessary, because even if a few years from now, I wouldn't say years, months, maybe a year from now, you will not tell the difference if a human did it or a AI did it, because eventually you will not notice. I can see. I don't know if you. I've been following this very close, and I've been watching. Yesterday, I saw a video from Sora. Sora, the AI who makes the images to videos, and they were making. And it is funny because now you don't need any prompt engineer anymore, because you can use ChatGPT to create the prompts, and then put those prompts in the Midjourney, and then use the images from Midjourney and put it in Sora, and saying Sora what you want to do with those frames, right? So the more time we spend, the people spend developing these AIs, not just the more intelligent they becoming, the faster is the connection between the prompt, the narration, the script, and the video and images, and I think the results. I was my wife. She's a photographer, and I just wanted to put make a test, and I said, could you just tell me if this is a photo or is AI? And I did this a couple of years ago. A couple of months ago, and she was saying, "This is clearly a photo, and this is clearly an AI," and she was right. And nowadays, I did the same test. It is I don't know. It's so hard to tell. It's so hard to tell.
Looking for errors and flaws in the images, and they're harder to spot now. Maybe
it's
there's
so
no reflections in the building when there should be, or it doesn't match. You start looking for stuff like that maybe the computer doesn't know how to do well enough.
No, yet. But do you remember at the beginning when they were making like a 6 fingers or funny hands or whatever? Now they can do, a normal hand, because it's how they train to say no, a hand is like this. It's not like 6 or 7 finger, and then the AI say, okay, that's it, that's a hand, and companies are. Big companies are investing so much money on creating more database for these AIs that eventually I'm sure we're not going to see difference from something created for a human, which I don't like, by the way. And that's why I'm saying we need more connection, more human connection. We need more festivals. We need more events. We need more stuff. So we can, as an artist, we can tell you what we did and how we did it. We can show you, and you can tell us your feedback and your criticisms and your story. And we can tell the story behind the piece as well. That's the only thing that will keep us away from the artificial uncanny valley thing,
I see two and a half futures. So one future, all digital artists go, oh my God, it's over. And then they all become traditional artists again. The realm of digital goes to the AI, and everybody becomes a traditional artist, only doing stuff on paper or with clay, because that's what the computers can't touch. And then the evil companies go, you know what, that's not enough. And they decide they're going to make the AI able to spit it out in 3D painted. The statue is just going to come out the way it looks like in the render. And
100%, man. I saw papers of technology papers like 4 years ago about AIs making 3D stuff. Way before that Midjourney just came out, whatever. Way before that, and I was saying, oh, look, this is kind of interesting. Maybe it's a good tool, and maybe it could be something good, so we can have in the softwares, and you can tell, oh, make this, for example, I don't know, this balloon or whatever, or this part of the shield or whatever. And I'm not going to waste time. For example, let me tell you this. I don't use it because I don't usually do mechanical stuff, but there are many people who use. What is the name? Like a bashing. Bashing is using something like from stock and putting there and making something like a bunch, bashing stuff. And you can buy this stuff from our station or whatever, and then you don't need to sculpt or model a nut or a bolt or every single time. It's a freaking bolt. I don't know. It's something that is every single time the same. And
the tool set.
Yeah, it's a tool set.
Wow.
What if you can do this with? That's what I said at the beginning of our talk today. The essence of the foundation of the statue is the most important thing. Not all the fancy things you put on top of the statue. You know what I mean? It is, the design is important, but all those tiny details just is making the piece more. You're bringing more visual complexity, which is cool, I understand that people love it. But we all have the same technology at our reach nowadays. Everyone has, you can access to ChatGPT, to Midjourney, to DALL-E or whatever. And I'm not seeing amazing stuff for every single people, because it is what you can do with the tools you have right now. And it's not like, nowadays anyone can do a cool statue. Define a cool statue. Define a great successful statue. It is tough. I think the market will be overflooded with stuff. Like right now, when I find the time, every single time I find a couple minutes or hours with my wife to watch a movie, when we put the kids to sleep, and it's, we have a couple of minutes. Let's watch this movie. I'll try to watch this movie, and then let's watch a movie, and then I put Netflix. I'm 30 minutes just looking for what I should see. There's so many stuff, dude, and most of that stuff is crap. And I'm sorry, but it's just not a good thing. Because you have so many good. So many options, and I think it's. I would love to go back to that time, and this is not nostalgia. Well, maybe it's nostalgia, but go to the Blockbuster, and then you just take the the case or whatever of the box, and then you just read what is about the movie, what the movie is about, and then you just rent that, go to your house, just buy a pizza, whatever, and then you have to spend some time, and I think those old days, if the technology keeps improving and just getting to different entertainment realms, let's say, it's going to hit eventually. It's going to hit our realm of the collectibles, and maybe this is a little maybe too fantasy in my mind, but it is like Matrix. Does something need to happen to reset the matrix? Well, we're going to need to reset the culture of collectibles to go back. Maybe I should say maybe a traditional stuff. Maybe something I don't know, something from the past. People nowadays they are. I have a friend who has these. What do you call when you put a disc, an actual disc, and you hear music? Is a
record player.
A record player, and in the past, they were made from a material which is it's not vinyl. It is before vinyl. Do you remember that? It was it is thicker and it looks like a kind of super old. Well, I saw a couple of these old new records. New record, but it was old technology, and because some people love to go back and go back to the beginnings, and I don't know, maybe we will do laser. I don't know. Yeah, laser discs. Yeah, that's right. And I don't know. It's so uncertain. You know, I don't know. That's why I prefer to live the present without seeing a little bit. You know what's going, or trying to see what will be happening in the future. Yeah, coming in the future. Yeah.
I don't know about you, man, but I'm gonna go find John Connor before Skynet comes alive. I'm gonna make sure he stays alive.
Man,
I don't want like the apocalypse to happen while I'm alive. Once
That's
I'm
true.
dead, the AI can take over. Everything.
Yeah.
Can go to shit. World War III can happen.
No, you need to find.
Let me die first.
You need to find Joe Morton and stop him from creating it. It's that man's fault.
I think we were locked on the path as soon as they took out the guy that made the water car.
Hey,
man, this is fun.
just want to say thank you guys for coming. It was a amazing unboxing. I didn't even expect this statue to be like this in person. So definitely shout out Daniel Bel, shout out Richard Luong.
Yeah, man.
Shout out everybody involved, man. This piece is
Cat.
Yeah. Amazing paint.
A Sideshow secret weapon. Cats with that.
Presence, bro.
Yeah.
Presence
Yeah.
on this is wow.
Yeah,
That's
man.
all I can say on the presence.
Thank you, brother.
Before we get out of here, any last words about things?
No, like thanks for having me, man. Thank you, Daniel, for giving us your time. Really appreciate it. I know it's late there. And,
So appreciate.
good to see you again, Tone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
Any last words, Tone?
Thank you for having me, Daniel. It's been awesome hearing you talk about statues. Nice
Thank
to
you,
meet
brother. Thank you, brother.
It's exciting.
Yeah, likewise.
Last
Wow.
but not least, Daniel. Any last words?
Thank you, brother. I mean, I love so much to spend time with you guys. I mean, community. You are so passionate about this, and I can see it. And I love to spend time just talking about nerd stuff. I'm a huge nerd, you know. I love video games. I love movies. I love the thing I do. You know, my kids, they do the same. I'm trying to my wife make her more nerd, but it's kind of tough. But yeah. But yeah, I mean, I love to connect with people that we share kind of the same passion, and this is awesome. So every single time you need me, I will be here. So yeah, 100%. You can count on me.
Yeah, no doubt. I appreciate it, man. I'm gonna ask you. I'm gonna go backstage and ask you something backstage.
Sure.
Just to share this with everybody real quick. This bad boy will be here on Tuesday.
Yeah.
2 more days, man. I cannot wait to get this bad boy. So on Tuesday,
Hell yeah.
it's coming.
call that-
And, what's up?
I call that the Johnny Bravo Hulk.
The Johnny Bravo Hall.
You know Johnny Bravo?
Yeah. I used to watch it. Yeah.
Oh,
That's nice.
But dude, thanks everybody for coming. If you guys can hit the like button, join the Facebook group, the Cashing Out Collecting Community. Thank you guys, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out.
Bye. Thank you.
Cash in your life, put some cash in your life. If your cash ain't right, if your cash ain't right, put some cash in your life, put some cash in your life. Cause what's a credit score when you got your cash right? Put some cash